Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 23rd of January. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you the standout features of this week that we can all relate to collectively, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail all the zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces. If you're a returning viewer to my channel, thank you so much for joining me once more. If you're new to me, it's great to have you with me. If you'd care to like or subscribe or comment, you're very welcome. This is very much a community and it's wonderful to have you with me. Now this week does see one of the standout aspects in astrology, the Sun in an alliance with Jupiter. Jupiter in the sign of Aries is very much about new beginnings and freshness. In the sign of Aquarius, the Sun, Venus and Saturn is very much about the collective. It's how we interact and network, it's our friendships, but also our longer term planning. Because last Saturday there was a new moon in Aquarius, which is also feeling the energy of Pluto, the planet of great change, it may feel as if this is a really historic time for many of us. So what does it mean, that aspect between the Sun and Jupiter? I think it can be when we supercharge our longer term plans in a way which feels right for us now. We very often will have hopes, but when we get to that point where we achieve what we set out to do, we realise that we've actually shifted. And I think there can be a little bit of that this week. But Mercury, the planet of communication, is still forging a jarring angle to Mars. Mercury wants us to slow things down and examine possibilities in a very thorough and step-by-step way. It's in the earthy sign of Capricorn. Mars in Gemini wants things to go quick, very quick. But later this week, Mercury actually forges a brilliant link with Uranus, which will help us to embrace things that can speed up. Also, from Monday to Wednesday, Venus and Saturn are still within 3 degrees of one another, and they're asking us to think very carefully about the quality of our alliances. Now, Saturn can either be a cold and limiting influence or a very stabilising one. So we may find ourselves asking some key questions about close relationships, particularly as Venus moves into the sign of reflection of Pisces on Friday. Now there is a quarter moon as this week draws to a close. As much as the sign of Aquarius is very idealistic, the sign of Taurus is very realistic. And there may be something that we just need to make sure it stays in kilter between those two areas. As much as we'd like life to be a certain way, it is as it is. But then at the same time, that doesn't mean to say we can't apply our values and standards to that reality. And that's really what I feel is coming to the fore as this week draws to a close. Now, if you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast and understand what the next year will hold for you as an individual, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can give you your forecast, plus in my special package, your life roadmap analysis. This will help you to understand your astrological influences at a much more intimate level. Seize upon the ones that give you possibilities, but also work out some that have snagged you over time. There's 30% off. Please see the link below. And in my special package, you also get your free Zodiac, Vedic and Chinese forecasts for 2023. So Scorpio, your week commencing the 23rd of January forecast begins with your ruler Mars, continuing that inconjunct or quincunx with Mercury. Mercury in your sector of everyday communication, Mars in the very passionate 8th house, balancing your desires in terms of your longer term plan, finances or close personal relationships against what you need as an individual could take some toggling. Now, later in the week, Mercury breaks out and forges a brilliant link to Uranus, the planet of surprises, in your sector of relating. Is something that's been proven frustrating going to then transition into something that provides an opportunity? I think it is possible because the Sun is forging a brilliant link to Jupiter, the planet of growth. And this really does fill up a lot of the week. Now, the Sun is in the more reflective fourth house, home, family, emotion, along with Venus and Saturn, who are conjunct for the first half of this week within 3 degrees. So maybe you're seeing how far you've come around evolving your self-worth, your emotional world, your sense of security. And the link between the Sun and Jupiter can feed into your sense of well-being. You could actually feel, if you are feeling content in your emotional world, you could actually feel a lot healthier and a lot more physical energy. But of course, Saturn on Venus could be testing you out in some way. Maybe Saturn's asking you to make some final decorative improvements to your immediate environment. Venus moves into a glorious location for your sign in particular on Friday, where it's going to be for 28 days. Venus in the 5th house can really show off. This is very Leonian. It's very affectionate and warm and playful. And if you are wanting to emerge from this slightly tender and sensitive Aquarius energy for you into something that is more interactive with others, perhaps the best way to do that would be to invite someone round and play mind host. And that could be perfect because maybe sticking closer to home or your immediate environment in terms of a date or meeting someone may appeal to you more than doing something that's, out there and really different.